Right, what's good, everyone? Jamie, 434 here again. This is Monday Night Raw review for Monday. I did not like Raw. Now, this is a bit like a Marmite one. It's either you love it or you don't. I thought Raw was very disappointing. It was based on Stranger Things. Now, to let you know, I have never watched Stranger Things. I think I might have to because a lot of people are saying it's good. Now, if you can hear a lot of washers in the background, it's just my dishwasher, so I apologize in advance. So, Monroe Raw starts off with everyone walking through the room as they always do. We see Cole and Graves upside down with some pyro going off. I can't remember the last time I saw pyro on Monday Night Raw, probably on the Netflix episode of last year. So it was pretty cool with like the designing and also the coloring and with the product being upside down. Now I liked it. That was probably the only thing I enjoyed about Monday Night Raw. So show starts. Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. This is like your fantasy right there in the ring. So it starts off. Io and Asuka start off. Io with some handsprings and a kick to Asuka, and all on fours. Cheeky. Oscar then rolls to the floor with Saint sent out with her, and Rhea hits a cannonball. We go to a commercial break. Now, I feel sorry for my American friends out there who have to deal with commercial after commercial after commercial, whereas over here in the UK, now it could obviously depend on what your package is. Now, I pay about £12 for Netflix each month. So I think I get less commercials. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, let's go back to the return. Oscar and Ripley go at it. Oscar hits the knee. Ray Ripley sent to the apron. Oscar does join her there, but this is a suplex until Oscar falls off the apron. Rhea misses a cannonball to the floor thanks to Kyrie. Oscar and Kyrie beat Rhea on the barricade. Saint hits the head scissors on the ropes. Kyrie goes to the top, hits a flying forearm for a 2 count. Rhea eats a slam of series kicks for another 2 count. Asuka tags in, some slaps to Rhea. Now, Rhea took a lot of pounding in this match. Then Rhea then headbutts Asuka and catches Kyrie off the top with a fallaway slam, tags in Io. Io with some palm strikes and a sling blade. Now, this was interesting. Now, Corey Graves mentions Hiroshi Tanahashi's retirement, by the way. So that's something that you don't get. So, shout out to Hiroshi Tanahashi. I hope you have a great retirement and enjoy whatever you do next. Asuka down in the corner does a taunt. Asuka blocks her corner move while Io brings her down on the rope. Kyrie trips Io up on the ropes with a double stone to prone Io, who flips to the mat for a 2 count. Go to another commercial. How many commercials do you people in the States get? Please let me know. Kyrie has Io into a lion tamer. Chris Jericho sort of hint there, but over rotates. Io goes for the tag and gets it. Rhea comes in with a huge pop. Rhea with clotheslines on Kyrie. Kyrie gets kicked to the head scissor attempt, planted face first, and hit with a drop kick. Asuka gets booted off the apron. Rhea hits the razor's edge, shouts to DP. Io hits a missile drop kick. There's a very, very close 2 count. Rhea hits the riptide. Asuka drives Rhea into Io and then hits Rhea with a code breaker. Another Jericho reference. Cover gets a 2 count. Asuka tags in, baseball slides into Rhea for another 2 count. Asuka hits some strikes, runs into a head scissors by Rhea. Asuka turns into an ankle lock and suplexes Rhea with a double team by Kyrie, and Asuka forgets a 2 count. Asuka and Kyrie hit an assisted insane elbow for another 2 count with Io making the save. Io German suplexes Kyrie and then tags in the match. Asuka hits a small package for a 2 count. A backslide gets 2. Io hits a double stomp and then a Meteora, running bullet train attack into the middle of the ropes. Rhea tags in, hits the riptide on Asuka. Io hits the moonsault and a dive on Kyrie onto the floor, with Rhea making the cover for 1, 2, 3. Now, I did like this match. I did not like the fact the Kabuki Warriors have dropped the tag team titles, so pretty much this reign has been uneventful. This reign has been very uneventful for the Kabuki Warriors. Now, I don't know what happens next, whether Asuka is going to turn on Kyrie. Kyrie's going to take the blame for what happened. So, don't know what's next for the Kabuki Warriors, but they were booked like losers. It's not good. Pyro goes off as Io and Rhea celebrate. Lovely. Like it. Except Adam Pearce in the back. Congratulates Rhea and Io, saying he's proud of them. Gunther, the best heel in the business, walks up, and Pierce tells him that there'll be tons of eyes on him tonight. He encourages Gunther to speak from the heart and maybe mix in a little respect. A little bit of respect. Love it. Gunther chuckles and walks towards the arena. Gunther shows off his new t shirt while walking to the ring. It features a picture of John Cena tapping out like a little bitch. I don't know if I'm going to buy that shirt. It's an interesting shirt. Let's make Gunther another millionaire. That's pretty cool. Another Stranger Things commercial break. I feel sorry for my friends in the States. Gunther has been asked by management to show a little bit of respect. Fans chant that Gunther tapped out. Still one of the worst creative decisions I've ever seen when Gunther tapped to Jey Uso. Yeet man. Man that made John Cena do the one thing he said he'd never do. The man that made John Cena tap like a little bitch. AJ Styles music hit. AJ hits the ring and stares down Gunther. Gunther cuts AJ off and tells him he needs to learn about respect. He's punching above his weight. Gunther, without a doubt, I think is the best wrestler in the company by a mile. His heat has been fucking great. I will praise the work that Gunther has done. And that includes AJ. Gunther is the man that made John Cena tap like a little bitch. I don't want this getting overused. That's my concern about this. Is that this is going to get overdone. I don't like it. Gunther wants to know what little AJ is going to do about it. Then Gunther does the "You Can't See Me." AJ smacks him across the face. They stare down each other menacingly while AJ asks what's Gunther going to do about it. AJ says, just like he thought. Gunther does nothing, then drops a microphone and walks out. Now, next week, it's been confirmed we do get Gunther against AJ Styles. Now, Raw is in Germany. Now, this is recording on Sunday, so Raw tomorrow starts 7 o'clock our time in the UK. Might be 2 o'clock in your time in the States. Don't know about the rest of the world. I don't know. So, we got a video package, Maxine Dupree's ascension to glory at the expense of Becky Lynch's sanity. We'll get to that in a minute because I hated this match. Ivy Nile. Who? Ivy Nile. Yeah, exactly. Who? I got no time to that. She wants another match for the Intercontinental Championship. Please not. The first match sucked. And Gunther complains about AJ Styles. Styles follows him, wants a match tonight. Gunther said he will wrestle Styles next week, as I said. Pierce makes it official. Women's Intercontinental title match. Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch. God, this match was a mess. I am being polite. This match was a car crash. It was freaking awful. So it starts off. Maxine takes Becky into the ropes to even will go around with the corner. Becky hits a mule kick. Maxine replies with a Thesz press. Becky to the outside. Maxine cartwheels up on the apron. Eventually, it's a pump kick to Becky. Why? God, this match was terrible. Maxine blocks an armbar, then kicks Becky down. Maxine hits some clotheslines, splashes into the corner, and hits a perfect plex into a kick up. A spin kick on Becky gets a 2 count. Becky blocks a kick. Maxine turns around with an end-to-end ankle lock with Becky finding the ropes. Becky misses a stomp in the middle of the rope. Maxine hits a roll-up. and then to another ankle lock. Does this sister know how to do any of the submissions, just the ankle lock? Now, no disrespect to Maxine. I'm sure she's a wonderful woman. But I just want to get through this match as quick as I can. Actually, no, screw it. Becky wins with a roll up. Becky uses the leverage for the ropes. Becky's the new Intercontinental Champion. Good decision. Because we're going to hopefully get Becky and AJ Lee at WrestleMania. Please, God. Thank goodness if we do. Braun Breaker jumps up and down and listens to some sounds. Wonder what he was listening to. It's pretty cool. Stephanie McGuire comes to the ring. And Stephanie is unfortunately in a walking boot. So I don't know the extent of the injury. Before that, the Usos are in time to yeet. Why? This was terrible. I think it was just a waste of a few minutes to get the Usos on the show. God knows why. When are we going to get a tag team match? Are we going to get any challenges for the Usos? I just don't want the New Day. That's the last thing we want. WWE should go in and go get Private Party when the deals are up from AEW. We got a sneak peek of Unreal. Heyman talking about how much he doesn't like the show. This is a few things that's discussed. I'm looking forward to this. Rollins' injury. R-Truth getting released. There's also about Naomi with Jelly Roll on there as well. Now, the Naomi one is the most intriguing for me to find out what happened with the release with Sasha. So, Jackie Redmond. Ooh, hello, Jackie. You look fine as usual. Jackie asks Stephanie what's on her mind. What now? Stephanie says 2025 was amazing. She accomplished a lot, including becoming the World Women's Champion. Stephanie takes the mic off Jackie and thanks the WWE fans for believing in her. Now, she was talking a lot in Spanish. Now, I need my Spanish friends to actually quote what she was saying because I know y'all will know better than me. Raquel attacks Stephanie from behind. She attacks the leg and hits the Tiana bomb. And then Stephanie sets up Raquel for the Pulmanizer. And then she attacks Stephanie as soon as they get backstage. So, yeah, it looks like she's been writ off for a while. So that sucks. So it's a bit disappointing. I love Stephanie, and hopefully she'll be back as soon as possible. Penta El Zero Miedo backstage talks to Rey Mysterio. Says that Dragon Lee is also by his side. So looks like we're gonna get a slight bit of a Rey side quest with Penta and Dragon Lee. At least they're doing something with Dragon Lee. My guy, freaking love Dragon Lee. Liv Morgan and Lyra Valkyria. Now, this is a fulfill your fantasy sort of match. I love both women. I don't like Liv's gimmick, but she's fucking gorgeous. What are they doing with Lyra Valkyria? Start off, Lyra trips Liv up and hits a kick. No one likes suplex, gets a 2 count for Lyra. Liv goes outside. She evades Lyra's kick through the ropes. Goes back in the ropes and kicks Lyra to the floor. Liv sends Lyra into the steps as we go to commercial break. Lyra sends Liv into the mat when they return from commercial break. Then they clothesline each other. Forearms are exchanged with Lyra hitting with an elbow. Liv misses along the ropes with Lyra hitting a suplex. Lovely tornado DDT by Lyra. Then a Fisherman's Buster gets a 2 count on Liv. Lyra has Liv up for the Nightwing. Liv gets a crucifix for a 2 count. Lyra gets struck with some Liv elbows. Lyra goes again for the Nightwing. Liv counters with a DDT and gets a 2 count. And Liv then hits Oblivion. Roxanne tried to interfere into the match. Bayley snaps and chases Roxy away with a chair. Liv hits the Oblivion for a 3 count. Great to see Liv back. Now, Liv Morgan, a lot of people thought she was going to get released in 2021. Thank God she didn't. Her improvement in the ring has been great. I don't know what the planned story is going to be with Liv. There's talk saying she's the favorite to win the Royal Rumble. I don't mind it. As long as it's a good story that goes into WrestleMania with Liv. I hope so. I would not mind seeing Roxy and Liv at WrestleMania. I will not mind that at all. We get a lot of another treatment. Jackie Redmond is with CM Punk. She asks him how he's preparing for Braun Breaker and everything that comes with it. Punk dismisses the question and tells anyone not to underestimate him. He said he can GTS anyone, including Jackie. Punker, please don't do that. I love Jackie Redmond. She is like my favorite thing about Raw. So, main event. CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. Breaker arrives, looks like a fucking badass. It just looks right, him and Paul Heyman. It just looks right, doesn't it? Punk comes out, plays some mind games by wearing a Steiner Brothers Michigan jacket. I fucking laughed. Now, I love Rick and Scott. The Steiner Brothers were my first tag teams I loved when I got into wrestling. Starts off, Punk works the headlock a bit early. Punk gets a hammerlock with Breaker lifting out of it. Punk goes to a wrist lock. Braun takes over. Braun hits a power slam, going to commercial break. Braun punches around Punk on the mat as we return. We see a replay of Braun running Punk over with a breaker line. Braun catapults Punk's neck into the bottom rope, which Cole compares Braun to Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. Long way to go yet. Even though Braun Breaker is fucking fantastic. Main event WrestleMania. Him and Obafemi. Fucking book it. Braun slams Punk down, knees Punk in the throat, and delivers more punches. Braun tosses Punk over his shoulder as the dogs in the crowd begin to bark. Thing is, Breaker is not a heel for me. Breaker is a fucking babyface. So, this was a match I enjoyed more than the tag match. Punk fights back and Braun slips off and hits a suplex for a 2 count. And Braun tells the crowd to look at this bomb. Punk fights back and gets whipped hard into the corner. Running knee strike from Breaker knocks Punk down. Braun blocks the GTS, then gut busts Punk for a 2 count. Braun tosses Punk outside and then gets ready for the spear. Braun ends up running into a Punk clothesline, going to another commercial break. Braun hits a standing moonsault for a 2 count to come back from commercial break. Braun tries a Franken breaker. It doesn't hit. Now, people are gonna, all the sickos are all gonna say, is William Regal gonna say anything about Braun landing on his head? Look, I did not like that spot. I get nervous when Breaker does that spot. I do get nervous because I don't want injuries happen to wrestlers. I don't. You look what's happened to many wrestlers in the ring that's died or got seriously hurt. Remember that, you fucking bums. Punk gets crossed up. Braun then hits the Frankensteiner for a 2 count. Braun military presses Punk. Punk hits the DDT for a 2 count. This is where it gets more nitty gritty. Braun and Punk exchange strikes with a leg lariat, then a neck breaker by Punk. High knee into a corner, then a short arms clothesline. Punk goes to the top and hits the top rope elbow. Punk motions that it's time to go to sleep, with Heyman interfering to distract. Then the Vision all appear and gets knocked off the apron. Braun bumps Punk into the referee. Now all hell breaks loose. Theory hits a stomp on Punk, covered by Braun for a 2 count. Bronson Reed clears the announce table. Then Penta's music hit. We get Penta, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio fighting off the Vision. They fight into the crowd with the rest of the Vision. Braun lines up Punk for a spear. Breaker spears the ring post with a GTS with a 2 count. Punk hits a pile driver on Breaker. Now, this surprised me because the pile driver has been banned by WWE unless it's for special use. I don't want to see a pile driver every single week on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or Dynamite or Collision. I want the pile driver to be used as it's special, as a few times, maybe once or twice every 4 to 5 weeks. When there's a story that's been going around for a while between these two. Punk motions for another GTS. Braun blocks, gets Punk into a Fujiwara armbar. Punk gets a roll up for a 2 count. and Braun keeps the hold on. Punk rolls out and goes for the Anaconda Vice. Braun stares at Punk, rises up, and hits Punk with another gutbuster with the clothesline. Gets another 2 count. Braun makes the GTS hand motion. Punk picks the ankle and locks in the STF. Braun gets to the ropes. Punk pulls away and tries to reapply the hold before Heyman gets on the apron. This is where I was surprised that LA Knight did not return. Would have made sense for LA Knight to return. I would have had Knight and Punk at the Royal Rumble. Punk grabs Heyman and punches him in the face. Heyman falls on his ass. Punk avoids the spear. Braun tumbles outside. Braun dives towards Braun's arm, forearm. Punk is by the announce table, and Braun jumps off the middle rope to the announce table, which I thought was fucking awesome. This last 5 minutes of this match was fucking great. Great, by the way. Then puts Punk back into the ring. Breaker pulls down the straps and goes for a spear and runs into Punk's knee. Punk hits a GTS for the 1, 2, 3. Punk retains. I do not like. I was okay with Breaker losing because it makes Breaker the hunter for that world championship, and then it would have made it predictable. Now, people would have thought Chris Jericho would have appeared. Jericho is still on AEW's roster page. Jericho will not leave AEW until he is off the roster page, by the way. So all the sickos were all laughing, saying that Jericho was going to show up on Raw. You got your way, man. So this is the Raw review. I'm going to get NXT up very soon. I'm going to get Dynamite up as well. I got a little message for Dynamite, by the way. So this is going to be fun. I know the sickos are all out there going to be fucking retards thinking I'm going to lay into the show. I've not seen Collision yet. I will watch Collision when I've done Dynamite. And I might get Collision up for you tomorrow for y'all. So NXT will be up very shortly. I'm gonna get everything all up for you. Also, I've got an announcement to make. I'm gonna start a new series. Now, this is an idea I'm gonna steal from Wrestling Bios. If you've never watched Wrestling Bios, he does Reliving the War. So it's Nitro and Monday Night Raw, and he's nearly finished the fucking lot. So big up to him for watching WCW in 2000, when WCW was fucking awful. I'm gonna review Black and Gold. So we're gonna call it Back to Black to Gold. So we're gonna watch every NXT from the beginning to the final night of Black and Gold. I will not be reviewing 2.0. I'm not gonna review that garbage. Every takeover I will do. Any special NXT shows I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and do a lot of reviews. Like I said, I've got plenty of time at the minute. So hit that like button, smash the hell out of the subscribe button, and I'll see y'all very soon. Thank you. Peace.